Hello everyone, welcome. My name is MJ Pestridge. Welcome to another sim market review, and today we're looking at FSGlobal Ultimate 2024 from Pilots. We're in P3D version 5, and as you can see here, I just have the normal default mesh. There is no Pilots Global Ultimate added just yet. So we'll see the difference between what it looks like when it's the default mesh installed versus their edition, and this is what you get basically. It's okay. You can see terrain, hills in the background. They're kind of defined a little bit, but we're in I think we're in the Vietnam area right here, and it's okay. So I'm basically now going to install the Pilots mesh, and we'll be able to see the exact difference when I do that. It's priced $83.99 and it's available in Sim Market. There's a link in the description box below where you can go buy the add-on. It's published by Pilots and it came out this year in 2023. It's the newest development in digital elevation mesh for P3D. It's their largest development step since its introduction in 2005. So now I'm just going to pop in the folders here. There's local meshes as well that cover the European Alps, Antarctica, Iceland, Greenland, New Zealand, and several popular islands around the world. So literally just need to pop it in and place it in its appropriate stage. Now when you install it, it will already do this for you, but I already installed it and then I had to remove it so I could show default first. The new version comes with many technical improvements, new data focusing on a spectacular rendition of the localized mesh areas that I mentioned before, and it's massive changes over the 2020 edition in detail. Switzerland comes complete with 2-meter resolution based on the 0.5 meter resolution source data. Austria is up to 2 meters resolution based on the 0.5 meters source data, and I think you can see here the stark difference between default and their version of the mesh. There are better valleys in the canyons below. There are more specific peaks in the hills and the mountains, and the landscape is just more defined than it was before. So, and as you can see, I'm running the mesh resolution at its highest 1 meter setting, and the tessellation factor is at high. And even at high with the 2K textures I've got, you know, you can pretty much see a massive difference between the two. There's other areas like southern Bavaria, Italy, Balearic Islands, Canary Islands, La Réunion, Iceland, Antarctica, Greenland, New Zealand, Madeira, the Azores, and numerous small improvements and fixes all over the world, including Canada, US, South America, South Africa, Indonesia, and Japan. A lot of the meter resolution has been improved, and it comes from more higher quality resolution data as well. There's a new render algorithm for optimal fit of summits and ridges to the ortho imagery, and it's compiled with the latest P3D version 6 SDK. For those of you who are on version 6, it's completely compatible with that as well, which we'll have a look at in a bit once we finished in version 5 here. I mean, I can see a massive difference here with the peaks and how sharp they are, and it really does go well with ortho imagery as well. I don't actually have any ortho imagery here. We're in Vietnam, and I've got the Vietnam War Pack with all the airports and that, and it really does work well with those add-ons as well. It's completely compatible with Orbex and their packs, the True Worth or the regions. It's been tested for downward compatibility for P3D 4 and 5. So if you own all 3 sims, or if you have 2 sims, you can actually install it using the native installers for versions 4, 5, and 6. Now, it does have a bit of requirement to install into. It requires you to have 200 gigabytes of free installation space for temporary files if you're going to install the global pack. Obviously, it's split down into smaller regional packs, but if you're going to install everything, you need 200 gig. When it's on your hard drive, it's only less than 100 gigs in hard drive space. So it is actually slightly larger than the 2020 mesh. I think that was 70 gig, but it's not like massively oversized, but the quality of the mesh is. You can actually run slightly lower settings and have better results compared to the 2020 version. So that's version 5. Now let's go over to version 6 and see the difference between the defaults, what Orbex give you, and FSGlobal. So here we are in New Zealand. This is version 6. This is totally default. The airport is the landscape you see, but the hills in the background are actually default terrain from P3D V6. So the airport is kind of what you're seeing in the coverage down below, but the mountains off to the distance, that is kind of the level you get. So let's go in now and activate the mesh that is installed, but we'll actually activate it now in P3D V6. So once you've activated it, this is now, you can tell a major difference. If you go back to the screenshot of before and sort of flick here and there, you will see higher mountain terrains, and even with the New Zealand activated as well, which also does come with its own mesh as well, but the higher resolution mesh is what will show in the sim. So even if you do have New Zealand now, as we do installed, the FSGlobal 2024 mesh will display upon the top of that. And if we even disable the high quality mesh now and rely solely on the Orbex stuff, which is all 10 meters, it's standard 10 meters throughout their entire packages, you can see off to the distance here, these mountains here are of a certain height and a certain shape. Okay, there isn't much definition, I would say, to them, but it is absolutely good enough, like, for the user. But if we now reinstate the global mesh from pilots for 2024, you will see a vast, stark improvement. So just reactivate all the regions rather than just the oceanic one. And literally where we picked off, you can literally see a difference here. So this is the full package now running, and I think the mountains are higher, the valleys are deeper, and it is a vast improvement over the original. Like I said, it's only $83.99, but like the 2020 version, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to buy individual regions as well. They split up their 2020 version, and you were able to buy specific regions. I don't know if those regions now are still available on Sim Market, or if it is literally just a full package you have to buy, but I'm sure in the future they will do the same with this version, and where if you don't want to pay 84 euros, you can pay like 25 euros and then just sort of, you know, buy it bit by bit if you want. But to be honest, it's totally worth the purchase. It's really well optimized. It doesn't hurt your frame rate that much, like, and the VRAM, it doesn't really come at a cost. Now, like I said, this is Orbex and FSGlobal with P3D V6, but if you don't use Orbex regions and you use photoreal terrain, what does it look like with that? So now I'm going to install photoreal below us, and now you can see, I think, more clearly the definition of the mesh. Photoreal works just as good with this mesh as does any Orbex region or any airport, and they've just updated it with a configuration tool. If you go into an airport that has got like high peaks within the airport itself, where the elevation data isn't correct from the airport itself, and you've got these massive, you know, towers of landscape that aren't correct, they've given you a configuration tool much like Orbex did, the vector tool in version 4, to exclude the default data for this airport and only read whatever the mesh from them it gives you, and it basically creates an exclusion file. So it flattens basically that airport's landscape to be in line with their own mesh, because obviously in P3D the airports are completely separate data sets from the landscape surrounding it. So if you have an add-on developer who creates an airport, they are responsible for all the information that will go into that airport. So they provide the mesh, they provide the lighting, the runways. They can use default data as well, but mainly they'll replace everything. And there is a perimeter around, and outside that perimeter, that's where P3D settings take place. But inside that perimeter, the developers kind of set it up themselves, and your sliders for draw distance are the only things you can use to sort of dictate what will be seen and what not be seen inside the airport perimeter. But as you can see, when you've got your full package running with the weather, I'm using the FSGlobal weather from Pilots. It looks absolutely fantastic in version 6, and I totally recommend purchasing it. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with some music. Don't forget, I run a giveaway competition of €50 every single month on my channel. To be in with a chance to win, all you have to do is drop a comment in any one of my P3D videos, subscribe to my channel, and at the end of every month I will go live with a video and announce the giveaway winner, and then they just contact me through email and I send out your vouchers. Thank you so much for watching this comparison of P3D Mesh Default in 5 and 6, and I shall see you in the next one, guys. Take care. Bye bye.